Good Thursday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Happy that you're here. It's almost Friday. It's technically Thursday. We're already thinking about the weekend, and we will have some rain opportunities that may actually go up this weekend. We'll talk about that here in a moment. I've got some great weekend and Saturday intel in my headlines, so stay with me. But I'm going to show you the fog situation this morning. It is the 2nd of May. Last I checked, it is Thursday, and it's 6:40 in the morning. We have poor visibility in some parts where I see a 1 next to Jacksboro, LaFollette, Middlesboro, Bell County not doing all so well in terms of maybe the fog and visibility. And if you're up toward maybe 25E or maybe State Route 63 up into Tazewell, heading into Kentucky, there may be some slowdowns. Even the Smokies may have some poor visibility, but does not appear to be as bad as it was this time yesterday morning. So there's a hint of fog, but you may not have any issues. Maybe you didn't even have issues yesterday, but it did drop down to about a quarter mile at McGee-Tyson Airport around 9 a.m. So it kind of moved in and out. It's kind of like oozing through the area on Wednesday morning. But today, of course, is Thursday. If you're on the call, let me know. I'm on both YouTube and Facebook. We're doing a live stream at the same exact time. How I multitask, I just don't know. It's just amazing. Anyway, 57 in Morristown. We currently have 52 in Jacksboro. It's 57 in Rockwood. I want to say good morning to you if you're in Maryville, Alcoa. A shout out to Blount County. Woohoo! It's 56. And this time tomorrow, it's going to be more humid. You're talking like bad hair days? Yeah, low 60s tomorrow morning. You're going to say, oh, it feels kind of stuffy. It will feel stuffy tomorrow, and we will have some opportunities. But today is the hottest day of the week. And the record high today, are you ready for this? 90 degrees. No, we hit 90 today. Yeah, from 2010. You got to go back into a time machine. Go back to 2010. We hit 90. I think we'll be around 87 in the shade. Some of us may hit 88, so it'll be close, but I don't think we're going to tie the record high. Don't even think we'll even be within that striking distance, but be close. It'll be close. And by the way, yesterday, if you're keeping score, we hit 81 in Knoxville, 82 in Oak Ridge. I was expecting 82, so it was off by a degree. Normal high 76, normal low 53, and the record low for those that like cold air, it was in 1963, it was 34 degrees. So if you're on the call, just want to say good morning to you. Say hi to you. Yolanda says good morning. She's one of my premium members. Great to have Yolanda here. Marilyn Bell, also a premium member, says have a great day, everyone. Very light fog here. So a little hint of it. Maybe just not as bad as it was yesterday in spots. Fred says, good morning, David. It's 57 degrees in Maryville, and he says he's got clear skies. And I got Kelly, who says it is a good morning. And I agree with her. It is Thursday, almost the weekend. And if you're on YouTube, let me know, because I love to say hi to you and let your voice be heard here on the live stream. Temperatures, as I mentioned, in the 50s. This time tomorrow, they'll be dipping as low as 62, so it will feel stickier as you start your Friday. Love everybody lives for the weekend. Friday's going to be a little stickier, and there will be a few showers and maybe a rumble of thunder developing on Friday. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Let's take a look at the ultimate Doppler radar for two reasons. One, there's no gray counties here. Remember, yesterday, virtually everybody, not everyone, but most everyone in East Tennessee, at this time, yesterday, were under a dense fog advisory. That's not the case here. We have a dry scan. There may be some mist or drizzle associated where fog may be present. But the ultimate Doppler radar presented by your local Marco's Pizza, not showing much at all. In fact, if you're going to think about lunch today, it's never too early, check out Hardin Valley, Farragut, Maryville, Fountain City. They've got locations in Halls, Oak Ridge. They have a location on Middlebrook Pike and Ebenezer Road, now open. They're also a corporate sponsor of No Kid Hungry. Marcos.com, the best place to go. And I love their mission because they're all about lifting people up. I'm going to brag about them coming up in the days ahead because Marcos has a great outreach. They do wonderful things here in the community. Pepperoni Magnifico. Oh, that looks so good. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Oh, and maybe for lunch, the new Pizzolis. These things are actually a lot bigger than the picture would suggest, so you could probably think, oh, I'll eat 2 or 3 of those. No, hold the phone. Just one of those could fill you up, but you never know. Try it out. Only $5.99. Check it out at a Marco's near you. By the way, the radar is showing most, if not all, the rain seems to be in the Midwest. I'm looking at Omaha, Kansas. Have they had a break? Really, they haven't. Look at all that flooding concerns that we see there in Bergen. I'm pretty sure that's flooding. I'm pretty sure that's flash flood. Yeah, aerial flood watch, flood warning. We're talking some areas in East Texas, Polk County, Texas. Now, if I were to highlight some of the issues, and I mean there have been some issues, I also take notes because I know that you like this. 16 tornadoes yesterday, most of them in Texas, Kansas. Then on Tuesday, there were 13 tornadoes, most in Kansas, Nebraska. We had one tornado on Monday, got a little bit of a break in the U.S. here. We had one in Nebraska on Monday. Go back to Sunday, we had 18, most of them in Texas, Louisiana. Then on Saturday, 51 tornadoes. Where would you put those? A lot of tornadoes. 51 on Saturday. Most of those were in Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kansas. But the granddaddy of them all was last Friday. That's what made all the national news. There were 136 tornadoes. Now, these are preliminary numbers, folks. They have to go out and do the surveys. And that means these numbers are likely to rise. But as of right now, the Storm Prediction Center has noted 136 tornadoes on Friday. That's last Friday. Most of those were in Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Texas. And then, of course, last Thursday, there were 11 on Thursday, most of them in Oklahoma and Colorado. So all told, we're up to 246. 246 tornadoes. That's a lot of tornadoes. If you're on YouTube, let me know. Thankfully, we haven't had that issue here. Kathy Nichols Coffee says, good morning, David Aldrich weather. I'm glad to be able to see you today. I would love to be able to get out in this 90-degree weather. Still at UT with my daughter. Have a great day. Kathy, thank you for your note, and prayers to you and your family. And again, Yolanda, Marilyn, and Fred also on the call. It is 6:46. I got so much information to pass along to you. Some great intel about this Saturday. We have a big event going on in Townsend this Saturday. I believe they have found Bigfoot. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They found the festival. Yeah, the festival. It's the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Festival in Townsend. So if you're going to be out and about this weekend, some intel on the weather would be probably helpful. So I want to give you some information on that in the headlines. Radar shows snow in Montana. I thought this was May. It doesn't snow in May. Oh, it does. In part, if the conditions are right, right? How about that for a caveat? You can get a tornado any time of the year if the conditions are right, right? That makes sense. We get tornadoes in the U.S. in November. We get a second season sometimes in early December when the cold air and the warm air clash. And that's what we've been seeing across the Midwest for much of the past 7 days. But it's coming down in buckets in parts of Minnesota in terms of rain. Iowa, lots of thunder, lots of lightning. But let's talk about us. Let's get back to the local. Can we focus on the local? Yes. No rain today. Okay, that's easy. What about 12:30 in the morning? We have a few drops developing in Middlesboro. Take you to 3:30 tomorrow morning because you'll be probably asleep like me. I sleep at 3:30 on Friday in the morning. I don't know about you, but I'm not awake usually at 3:30. But May 3rd, that's tomorrow morning, there may be some drops of rain in Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County and in Jamestown. And then we'll populate this a little bit more by 6 a.m. Friday. So when I say stray showers late tonight, this is what I mean. It doesn't look like it has any chance to make it to Sevierville. Doesn't even look like it has any chance of making it to Maryville by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. But if you're in the plateau, maybe if you're in Middlesboro, you might have said, oh, it rained last night. Some of you can say, it didn't rain where I am, so it didn't happen. If it didn't happen in my yard, it didn't happen. That's not exactly true. But I can tell you this, it's like the tree that falls in the forest. We'll have some drops filling in by 7 a.m., and then it populates like so by midday Friday, and so it goes. Maybe a quarter inch close to it around Jamestown by 5 o'clock Friday. I left a 40% chance of rain on Friday. But Friday night, it starts to populate on most of the models. Some are not as aggressive as this would suggest because it puts nearly 2 inches by 7 a.m. Saturday in the plateau. That yellow area would be in excess of 2 inches. That would be right between Cumberland and Morgan County. So a vastly different number if you're in Newport, 0.05. And then look at that. On the plateau side, it's closing in on 2 inches. It's just the way it goes. And it's going to depend on where these storms take up residence. Location, location, location. It's kind of like the moniker from real estate agents, right? So where these storms are located, that's where we're going to get some heavy rain. And some of it could be, as I mentioned, locally heavy rain. But I haven't gotten to the real juicy part of this weekend's expectation. I'll give you that in my headlines here in just a moment. But that would suggest about an inch or so, near an inch in Knoxville this weekend. Tracking the clouds, we have a few of those coming in from the west. We're going to start sunny, and then it's going to become mostly sunny today. Temperatures about 87. 87, not quite 90 from the record high of 2010. But boy, it's going to be a warm day, so make sure you have the water bottle. I want to revisit the visibility. I mentioned it's poor in parts of Campbell, Claiborne, and possibly Bell County, where it's down about a mile or less. So keep an eye on that. We'll be watching that very, very closely. Got another note, question maybe. Melissa Mumpower. She says, is it going to be a scorcher today, David? Good morning. It's going to be very warm. The warmest day of the week, no doubt. Temperature 87, that's in the shade. But if you're working outside. If you're having lunch outside, you're going to say by the drive home it's pretty warm. Right now we're at 57, Melissa. In Knoxville, it's 58 in Oak Ridge, and it's 52 in Jacksboro, where we're getting a little bit more in the way of fog. It's a little cooler there. Sevierville's at 52, but they're already in the low 60s in Nashville. That's why I would suspect that tomorrow at this time will be around 62, like our friends in Huntsville, and 63 there in Nashville. Low 60s will be more common as we start your Friday morning, but the wind speeds aren't necessarily all that, they're not moving much. We would need more wind to eradicate the fog. In some cases, we just have some foggy spots. And I want to also address the other issue today, the pink elephant in the room would be the allergies. Tree pollen will continue to be high, and we're talking about maple, cedar, oak, and birch. These are the top 4 culprits right now. And so if you're trying to mow the lawn today, you're going to try and brave the elements, get out in the heat. Maybe ragweed very low. That's just not the season. And grasses are moderate. They're on the rise. Mold might be low to moderate. But I will tell you this, once we get into May 15th, and that's just a few days from now, because it's May 2nd, once we get into May 15th to June 15th, grasses will come on a little stronger. They usually do this time of year, and we really focus on ragweed once we get into middle of August and right through Labor Day. That's the seasons. Some people are allergic to all 3. Some are just really sensitive to ragweed. Some are just, they're like down for the count when it's tree pollen season. And it really is the heart of tree pollen season right now. So just pace yourself. That's my best suggestion for you there. Tracking the clouds, not a whole lot locally. As I said, we'll find a sunny start, but then we'll find a mostly sunny finish. Sun is up at 6:42. I think the sky will look like this at the end of the day. But when you wake up this morning, head out the door, 6:42, that was just a few minutes ago. It's been up now about 9 minutes, but the sun will be setting at 8:24. So the bus stop forecast and the regular forecast for everybody else outside of the schoolhouse looks like this. We bring in the school bus with a little bit of fog in some areas, but 70 by 10 looks like a great day for recess outside. If you're an elementary school teacher or a school administrator, 2 o'clock, 84. Ouch, that's warm. And we'll finish the day about 87. So hopefully this answers Melissa Mumpower's question. Is it a scorcher? That's in the eye of the beholder. I've got 88 for Newport, and I've got 88 for an expectation for Tellico Plains and Madisonville. Very warm indeed, but certainly not 90-degree heat, but it's close enough. 88 in La Follette. I know you got some fog and you're starting cool, but you may finish strong. La Follette, Campbell County, about 88. And Crossville, Cumberland County, Lake Tansy, Fairfield Glade, 83 degrees, my expectation today, and 85 in Oneida. So there's the forecast in a nutshell to get you ready out the door. By the way, it's 6:53. I'm going to be done here in 7 minutes or less. I got a lot of other information to pass along to you, and the important, all-important headlines. If you stuck around this long, I figured I'd reward you with some really good intel. You're just not going to get anywhere else. That's why I watch you. That's why I watch you. Okay, I'm glad. Please, keep watching, because I got some good information. Very warm sunshine today. Everybody's talking about that. Few showers, storms on Friday, 40% chance. But have they told you the best chance of rain on Saturday is in the afternoon and evening? So I've got a 40% chance in the morning and an 80% chance in the afternoon. Ooh, that's so good. I've got plans. Okay, maybe get them out early. Maybe if you're doing some walking, you're doing some exercise. It's not a complete wash out, but it's only going to build, I think, Saturday to a crescendo. Does that help? That's great information. I can plan accordingly, because I know some of you like to plan, and I see Saturday as a 40-80. A 40-80, 40% chance of rain on Saturday morning, and an 80% chance by Saturday afternoon. With the heating of the day, it could get naturally and progressively more unsettled. By the way, speaking of unsettled, let's talk about Mother's Day. Did you know Mother's Day is on the 12th? You got 10 days to figure out what to get Mom. Please don't leave Mom out. At least a phone call and a card, maybe take her out to lunch if she's around, because, if she's out of town, you can't do that, but you could do a FaceTime or, you could do some kind of virtual call. But anyway, May 2nd, obviously very warm. All the warm colors in yellow and green, but then things start to turn on a dime. That's really weird. When you see blue, it starts to turn much colder at 5,000 feet, and that's what we begin to see. Maybe not on the 7th, maybe not on the 8th, but by the time we get into about the 10th, look what's happened here. The 11th, it's cold enough to snow in Chicago. Maybe not snowing in Chicago, but it'll be cold enough aloft. But that could occur. And you say, well, that's there.
Well, what's there comes here. It looks like by 1:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. That's the day before Mother's Day. That's when most kids are in the panic mode. I got to make Mom a card. Yeah, I tell my girls. They don't. I don't have to tell them. They do that already. But they'll make these wonderful greeting cards for Mom. Anyway, May 11th, right? Colder, much cooler. We could say it lines up beautifully with a blackberry winter idea. Very cold indeed, and it stays chilly right through Mother's Day. That's the morning of Sunday, Mother's Day. So very interesting. So very cold across the Northeast and a lot chillier. So this warm air that we have today will not be consistently through the month. We will see a lot of back and forth. It's just part of the way it goes. One of the things that we explore in great detail on the Captain Accurate Premium side. I would love to have you join us. Just hit the subscribe button at the top of my Facebook page. That is facebook.com/AldrichWeather. By the way, May 14th, still kind of chilly. And it could be cold enough to snow in Buffalo and Pennsylvania. It doesn't snow in May, David. That's a summer and spring month. Maybe, but not this go around, my friend. There will be some cold air still lurking in and down the road. It's going to come down into our effect. And in fact, if this is the snow potential, winter, who would have thought, who's doing a winter forecast for May for the Rockies? Or even California. Some of the mountains in California could be measuring this in feet. This is all new snow. That shows 30 inches west of Denver. And look at New England now. Why look at New England? Just look at West Virginia. They could have flurries in May. You're like, that's nuts. That's nuts, Aldridge. So we're getting some colder air. Yeah, it'll come. And if you're not looking for it, you're not ready for it. We talk about this all the time. In fact, many of our locals talk about the 6 little winters. We talk about the early to mid-May timeframe as being blackberry winter. So we've got some interesting weather still ahead. Got to share that with you and let you know it's coming. Good morning to you if you're on the call. Felicia Sexton says good morning. Have a lovely, wonderful Thursday. Hoping the rain moves out early on Saturday for the Bigfoot Festival in Townsend. And unfortunately, right now the trend, Felicia, is a 40-80. 40% chance of rain Saturday morning, 80% chance Saturday afternoon, evening. So that's why I want to keep you informed. As she's also one of my premium members, we'll give you updates. I average about 15 to 20 posts every day for my premium members. So if you are in craving or need of weather information, you couldn't stop at a better spot. It's the best bargain in weather in town because it's only 16 cents a day. And if he's posting 15 to 20 times, that's like less than a penny a post. It is pretty special. Check out the Captain Accurate Premium Service. By the way, it's 55 degrees. We have no wind, hint of fog in some parts of East Tennessee, but look at this. We go from sunny to mostly sunny, very warm, high temperature, average is 76. We should be about 87. Now, precipitation chances, they're going up to 80% on Saturday afternoon. Still unsettled Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. By the way, it's 6:58. I have got to keep moving, but I have to pass along to you some hot spots today for severe weather. That would be the yellow area around Abilene, Wichita Falls. Isolated storms in Houston. Possibility today, as well as Tyler, Texas, all the way up to Kansas City, St. Louis, and Chicago. Beautiful day here. We're in the temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Friday, we have some risk for some thunderstorms, but the worst of it could be in Amarillo or Wichita, Lubbock. That would be isolated severe storms on Friday from the lens of the Storm Prediction Center. Still some rumbles of thunder here on Friday. And then on Saturday, we have some thunderstorms, but not severe. Isn't that coincidental? Isn't that nice that we don't have to worry about that? Lubbock, Texas, and Amarillo, Abilene, Midland might have some isolated storms on Saturday. So that's where things are shaping up, or how they may shape up for Saturday itself. By the way, the Futurecast shows this big area of high pressure sliding away. We have a very warm day. By 5 o'clock, we're around 87 degrees. Notice the rain. It's being driven in here by a warm front. That red line will be slow to move in here, but it will bring in some showers, about a 40% chance, long enough to need the umbrella at times on Friday, so you might want to make sure that's in the car, packed away so that you can have it when you need it. And then on Saturday, it gets a little more aggressive. We've got more rain like so, and it's going to fill in. I suspect we're going to find some locally heavy rain on Saturday, and to a lesser extent, about a 40% chance of rain on Sunday. So that's the way things are shaping up, but clearly a wetter pattern. We'll call it May showers bring summer eventually. If April showers disappointed, Mayflowers, we have Mayflowers too. But we're going to get more rain, I think, this month than we did last month. Futurecast shows by the time we hit about, say, midday today, we're already up to 80. That's warm. 78 around Oak Ridge. Notice we finished the day right around 87 degrees in Maryville. about 87 in La Follette, about 88 Newport. I don't expect rain to be an issue. There's some false echoes there, but I do think it will be getting gradually warmer this afternoon to the tune of 87 degrees. So we start sunny. We'll finish mostly sunny. Winds about 3 to 8 miles per hour. I got a note from Linda Rice. She's saying good morning. Let's say hi to her. Linda says, good morning, have a great day. Thank you, Linda, for being here. And Felicia, if you want to take Mom somewhere, there is a jazz festival at the Imes Nature Center on May 12th, 3 to 7. Food trucks, beer garden, great music, local artists, and crafters. Thank you, Felicia. Always appreciate the intel on some of the great events here locally. And Wanda Poe says, good morning, David. No ragweed. It can stay away. Some of that snow could come her way, she says. I'm smiling because Wanda is on Team Snow. Forever Team Snow, Wanda Poe. Love it. Thank you so much for letting me know what you think. By the way, it is now 7 o'clock. This is the forecast, and this is what the travel forecast looks like. They will be around 89 today in Nashville, 87 for Atlanta, 90 will be easily achieved around Augusta and Columbia, about 90, 91 there. And if you're traveling north, you're not going to find much difference. In fact, I got us 90 in Jackson, Kentucky, and 87 in Lexington, Kentucky. So very warm all across the neighboring states. For tonight, 62. It's more humid. Bad hair night, bad hair day. More clouds, stray showers late. Winds are going to be light and variable. Low temperatures tonight, 63 in Oak Ridge and Clinton. Seymour, Knoxville, South Knoxville, 62. And if you're in Dandridge, if you're in, say, Jefferson City, Morristown or Newport, around 60 degrees, your low temperature tonight, so it will feel a touch more humid. Looking ahead to the Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee, 79 to around 80 tomorrow. It's going to depend on where those showers take hold, but may the 4th be with you. It's Star Wars Saturday, and as I say, 40 to 80. 40% chance in the morning, 80% in the afternoon, but we're up to 83 on Sunday, 80 on Monday, and oh yes, it looks like a very rainy pattern. As we head into early next week, temperatures again in the low to mid 80s with dew points and overnight lows in the 60s. Yes, there will be the possibility for stronger storms. We'll keep an eye on that for sure. Anyway, thankful for you and thankful for your time. And of course, if you'd like to join us on Captain Accurate Premium, we'd love to have you because that's one of the cool things we do. We focus on the weather that's beyond the next 7 days, because sometimes you need to plan more than just a week in advance. This is a great service. And you're also the first to see every forecast, as I've bragged about the fact that many times they get 15 to 20 posts a day. So they get a lot of information. You can pick and choose what's important to you. It's more than just the almanac, but you get more Facebook Lives. Oh, yes. And that usually occurs on the weekend. On a Sunday, you get fewer ads. It's like getting 2 streams of information on the same Facebook page. Anyway, very thankful for all of you. Have a safe and warm day, and stay hydrated. Make sure the dog and the cat have plenty of water. If they're going to be, at least the dog, outside, you want to make sure that they have their water. Anyway, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.